Hey, in regards to Greeley, how do you compare it to like the stuff that happened in Farmingdale, New York, in the early '90s in Long Island, like with all they were going through against immigrants and building immigrant centers and things like that, like in comparison to what you know of Greeley?
I mean, I personally believe that every single situation is a little bit different, so it has to be walked out differently. I think that's been one of the biggest problems at Revolution, that we always try to apply the same standard to a different situation. You know, I think really has similarities to it, but the reality is that since the demographic is different, since it's landlocked, since it's in a community that is not the most diverse state in the world, whereas there's a constant influx of Latino immigrants into New York at the particular time. Here, it's slowed down a little bit, and I think that really the difference that would be in those two situations would be that here we're experiencing, I wouldn't say the blowback, but we're experiencing the repopulation of this central area. Because it's a myth that our people didn't have anybody here. They always say, oh, this land was empty, there was no one living here, so we just took. I mean, that's the same thing they said about Palestinians in Israel. Yeah. Oh, you guys didn't even live here, there was no such thing as y'all. You know, but we've been here. I think Greeley is important because it serves as an example to say, hey, you know what? We came as far north as this. Matter of fact, we went all the way up to Canada, our indigenous people. We just had different names and different societies, but at the same time, you know, we're an example of a survivor, of a people that survived. You know, they say, oh, well, you guys didn't build no pyramids up here. Well, you try living up here with no fucking building. You know what I mean? You try living in Arizona in 120-degree heat for 3,000 years with no AC in a stone crib. You couldn't make it. You could barely make it through the Dark Ages. So that's why we talk about these particular things. And that's why I think that while the struggles are connected, they're very different. Because every single situation has to have a different logic applied to it and a different group of steps that we take in order to achieve that. One place may be more marching, one place may be more economic divestment, one place may be specifically targeting local elections, one place may be putting pressure on the school system to really denounce some of these people. You know, the prosecutor had to make a response to the event that we did. He tried to do it in a nonchalant way, but now, you know, he's finding himself with more and more people detracting from him. Because it's not like he can just say here in Greeley, oh, that's just some pissed off Mexicans. No, you got white people who lived here for years denouncing you for what you did. Because they don't agree with you. They think you're a liar. They think that you are a dishonest person. They think that you abused your office to proceed your own personal biases. You know, you're interpreting facts about immigration to support your own negative conclusions about our people.
And in regards to like education, I think it's a very important issue. At our university, they just the Student Representative Council just rejected, I guess, sort of an amendment to the bylaws at the university to decline undocumented students in-state tuition. Do you see kind of like any correlation between that and like when schools were still segregated between whites and African Americans and like in the beginning of the 20th century?
In response to that, I wouldn't even go so far as back to the 20th century. The interesting thing is in New York City, we had a similar issue. The CUNY system, which was the City University in New York, it used to be free during the 60s and 70s. And then when more black and Latino people, it almost, people can't tell me that's a coincidence that much more black and Latino people start going to school and all of a sudden it's like, all right, now we have to charge tuition. You know? Now we got to make you motherfuckers pay. Now we have to make it harder for you to go to school and get an education. It's not a coincidence. It's not a conspiracy. It's a fucking reality. You know, one or two things that lead you in a certain direction, fine, that could happen accidentally. But something that's built up like that, it's just obvious to me that that's what they want to do. They want to dissuade us from getting an education because, you know, they feel as if ignorant people are easy to control. They're more amused by sports and video games and whatever. I mean, that's fun, But imagine America without football and without baseball and without soccer and basketball and boxing. They keep you that way. Imagine America with no sports. This would be a fucking pissed off country. You couldn't be screaming at the TV screen at some athlete that's getting paid $50 million acting like you're fat, fucked up, crippled, degenerate ass that, you know, maybe played some sports in high school, could do any better because you fucking can't. Alright, you piece of shit. You'd have to actually care about what the fuck goes on in the world. Instead, you want to get drunk and eat some wings, you fat, degenerate fuck. That's what I'm saying. Like, our people are so pacified. We're so placated. And, you know, I try to use hip-hop to wake motherfuckers up and to make moves, you know? But at the end of the day, you can only help people so much till you start hurting yourself. You know, out of all those people that came to the event, I bet maybe only 20% of them actually do something. But that's 1/5 of them. Fuck it. You know, even if it's only 10%, that's at the very least 40 people out of 400 that really are dedicated to the cause. And at the end, that's really all you need. You just need to convince a few people to sway the next round. What the 10th man does, people will look at and be like, yo, you know what? Damn, what the fuck am I doing? You gotta shame them into doing the right thing. Punish them. That's the only way you're gonna get it. The closed mouth doesn't get fed, motherfucker. Immortal Technique. What's up? This is Immortal Technique. Out with Greeley, New Alpha Kappa. All my peoples out there, keep working, keep organizing. Es importante tener esta revolution of the mind first before anything else, alright? Peace.